So what I would tell a new teacher is to take risks and have fun with your teaching. You know, if you want to try something, like go for it. I remember when I was in math class, I hated reading examples about a guy on a snowboard on a lift and you find the angle between his board and the landing point, and I'm like, I don't care about this. With the students that I teach, I go, hey, have any of you, I remember that example specifically because I remember asking them, have any of you guys been snowboarding? And they're like, no. And I'm like, all right, then we're not doing this. The next day, we came and I brought my drone and we flew the drone and we found angles using that. And they went nuts. They were able to get really excited and start asking me, well, what if we did this? Well, let's find out. If you think it's gonna work, give it a shot. If it doesn't, that's okay.
A lot of my students have pigeonholed themselves with science into, if I go into science, I'm going to be a nurse or I'm going to be a doctor. And one of the things that I try to instill in them and try to give them opportunities with is what other things you can do in science besides going into the medical field. And I do that through my connection with Sanford Promise, which is a community development aspect of the research facility that we have in Sioux Falls. And their big push is to show students that there's more to science than just being a doctor and a nurse, but also to show them what you can do with research and what you can do with what other opportunities there are. And one student sticks out in my mind. She was a senior in high school and was dead set on becoming a dental hygienist. And she took my advanced biology class. And as one of the units within that course is a microbiology unit. And she left that class going, you know what? I really kind of liked lab work. I really liked sitting there and figuring out what my microbe was. And she ended up going to school and is pursuing something within the science field that's not dental hygienists.
One of my most impactful lessons was with my 8th graders. We teach Newton's laws, Newton's first, second, and third law. And what we did, my co-teachers and I, we set up this grand relay outside. And we also had the bubbles where they put I don't know if you like the soccer bubbles, they have to hold on and it's like a bubble over them. So we got to play with those. We did this big relay. So again, the hands-on learning, the engaging. And then we went back inside and we did a lesson and I said, okay, this is Newton's first law. Can someone explain to me why? Or what other laws did we see here? Can you explain why? Like, let's really analyze how we do see Newton's laws in every day. I actually got in a really nasty car wreck and my students were able to say, oh, Miss Garcia, that was Newton's da-da-da law. And they were like, this is what happened to you. You know, and they killed it. I mean, out of the water, they were able to really comprehend based off of that, engaged, based off of the activities we did. And then they were able to apply it in real life to my unfortunate car wreck. So I felt that was my most successful lesson so far.
COVID obviously made everything more interesting, and we couldn't do a lot of hands-on stuff here at school, but I still like to try to do things outside the box. And so we moved on to the body systems. I made a tunnel coming into my room, and I had pipe cleaners just sticking out from the walls of the tunnel. And it just appeared for the students. I put it up one day after they left, and I just pretended like it wasn't there. And of course, the students came in like, what is this? What is this? And I don't know what you're talking about. I just totally ignored it. I wouldn't answer any of their questions, but the anticipation from the kids that just built day in, day and day and day. And about 3 days later is when I actually got to the digestive system. And when we started talking about the small intestine, the light bulb started going off in the kids' eyes about what they had been walking through for the past couple of days to get into my room was in fact the small intestine. And so it really opened up and it allowed them to connect to something that they don't normally get to see, and it makes it more real for them. And so just to hear we've been walking through the intestines. And of course I was like, yep, you have. And so it was a great conversation. It was just a great way to bring it in. So it was really a kind of a fun moment to see that epiphany that you won't just see as a teacher.